Namaste to everyone. This is Madhuri at Science at Your Tips. Science at your tips of the tongue and science at your tips of the fingers. So, here I am dealing chemistry. Today we are having a topic here. If you know the atomic number of any element, you can say what is the nature of that particular element. Nature in the sense, maybe metallic or non-metallic, electropositivity, electronegativity, and also if you know two elements atomic numbers, then you can say very easily what is the type of the bond formed between them, either covalent or ionic bond, right? So here we'll have an example, atomic number 12. An element is there whose atomic number is 12. So here this element is going to have some nature. What is its nature? If you want to say, you should be able to write its electronic configuration first, either in NLX method or you should be able to write in shell method, right? Shell method means we are going to write the number of electrons in first shell, put a comma, second shell number of electrons, put a comma, then third shell number of electrons, like that. Otherwise, if you want to write in NLX method, what we have to write? Shell number, subshell value, azimuthal quantum number value, then number of electrons present in that particular subshell, right? So we'll see some examples for that NLX and also shell method, and along with that we'll see what is the nature of the element, right? So here this element atomic number 12, it has a configuration. First shell it has 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons, third shell 2 electrons. If you want to write in NLX method, what we have to do here? First shell in S subshell 2 electrons, second shell S subshell 2 electrons, second shell P subshell 6 electrons, then third shell S subshell 2 electrons. In this manner we should be able to write the electronic configuration. Then after writing the electron configuration, just observe how many number of electrons are present in the last shell, that is ultimate shell, outermost shell. All these are same words. Outermost shell, ultimate shell, last shell. How many number of electrons are there, that you should be able to find out. So here in this element we have 2 electrons. 2 electrons are present. So we can say this element is a metal. This element is a metal. Then what about its electronic electropositive nature, electronegative nature and also electropositive nature? Electropositive nature is high for this element. It is a electropositive element. Electronegativity is less, electropositivity is more. What is this electropositivity? Electropositivity is the tendency of losing the electron. Tendency of losing the electron from outermost shell. Tendency of losing the electron from outermost shell of an element is called as electropositivity. So as only 2 electrons are there, this element wants to lose that 2 electrons to get the inert gas configuration. By that it will get stability. So for that only it will try. It is going to lose that 2 electrons, right? Like that. Here we have some other element, atomic number 17. Without knowing the name of the element only, we are able to say that also. So 17 is there. 17 electrons. First shell 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons, third shell 7 electrons. Shell method. This is called as shell method. Next, coming to another type of method, NLX method. NLX method. In that what we have to write? First shell S subshell 2 electrons, second shell S subshell 2 electrons, second shell P subshell 6 electrons, third shell S subshell 2 electrons, then third shell P subshell 5 electrons. Altogether we have written here 17 electrons, right? Now last shell, how many electrons are present? In outermost shell, how many electrons are present? There are 7 electrons. So based on that number, we can say this element is a non-metal. This element is a non-metal, and we can say whenever it is a non-metal, it will be compulsory electronegative in nature. Electronegativity is higher. We can't say exactly what is the value of electronegativity. That is Again, we have to go for some scale like Pauling scale, Mulliken scale, all those. Then based on that, we can find out what is negativity value for that. But here we are able to say whether it is electronegative or electropositive, only that one. Now, by seeing these two examples, you may be getting some idea. Here, if number of electrons present in the last shell are less than 4, less than 4, it will be a metal. It will be a metal. If it is greater than or equal to 4, greater than or equal to 4, it will be a non-metal. Anyway, here also we have some exceptional cases. Some of the elements, though they are having less than 4 elements, less than 4 electrons in the last shell, they may be behaving like metalloids. And some of them which are having greater than 4 also may be behaving like metalloids. Metalloid is nothing but an element which has both metallic and also non-metallic property. Right. So, just to simply remember, if the electrons present in the last shell less than 4, it is a metal. Greater than or equal to 4, it is a non-metal. Right. Next, if you are having one metal and non-metal, you got two elements here, one metal and one more non-metal. Then between these two, ionic bond will form. Like here, we got some element here, 12 atomic number, nothing but name of the element is magnesium. Then one more element we have here, that is chlorine. Between magnesium and chlorine, what type of bond is formed here? Ionic bond is formed. Magnesium is going to lose electrons, chlorine is going to gain that electrons. Right? Then ionic bond is going to form between these two elements. So based on the atomic number, we are able to say what is the nature of the element. And also, we are able to say whether it is electropositive or electronegative. And also bond formed between two elements. Right? Now, here we will see some other things also, like here you are having some element. Here you have some other element here. We can say what is the oxidation number of the element or what is the valency of the element. Now the same thing we'll take here. If it is less than 4, means last shell number of electrons are less than 4, valency is equal to, here itself I'll write, if the last shell number of electrons are less than 4, valency is equal to valence electrons. Valence electrons. What is the meaning valence electrons? Electrons present in the valence shell. What is valence shell? Outermost shell, ultimate shell, last shell. Right? So last shell, ultimate shell. Next, what is that? Valence shell. All these words are same. Last, outermost, ultimate, and also valence shell. So number of electrons present in the valence shell, nothing but valence electrons, and the number of valence electrons equal to valency when electrons present in the last shell are less than 4. Right? Now, here we have some other element like this also. Whenever we are having this type of element, that is greater than or equal to 4, number of valence electrons are greater than or equal to 4, then what we will write here? Valency is equal to 8 minus valence electrons. 8 minus valence electrons. Right? Now, once we'll try to say what is the valency of this particular element which is having the atomic number 12. Now what we got here, last shell we got only 2 electrons, means it is less than 4. So what is the valency of this element? Equal to valence electrons. How many valence electrons are there? 2 are there. So what is the valency of this element? Valency of this element is equal to 2. Same like that. If you come to this element, 17 atomic number, we got how many electrons here? 7 electrons. We know already that this element is nothing but chlorine. Without knowing the name of the element also, we will be able to say easily actually. So how many electrons are there? 7 are there. Valence electrons are greater than 4. So that is why what we will write here? Valency is equal to 8 minus valence electrons. 8 minus 7. 8 minus 7, how much we are getting here? Valency as 1. Right? So valence we are able to say 1 for this element and 2 for this element. Some other examples also we'll see. Right? So just to remember, less than 4 valence electrons, metallic nature, electropositive element. Greater than or equal to 4 electrons means valence electrons are present, that is having non-metallic nature, and it is electronegative. If one electronegative element combines with the electropositive element, compulsory ionic bond is formed. Two electronegative elements are combining, then covalent bond is formed. That also we'll see. Now, here we have some other element. Here we have some other element whose atomic number is 1. Atomic number is 1. You know already what is that element? Hydrogen. But here we are not discussing about the names and all. Just we'll see what is the nature of that particular element. Now, here we have the element 1. Atomic number is 1. So, configuration we can write in shell method only 1. Shell method only 1. NLX method if you want to write, you will write 1s1. Before what we have discussed, if valence electrons are less than 4, it should be compulsory metal. But here we have exceptional case, hydrogen, though it is having one electron only in the shell, ultimate shell we can say, because only one shell is there, that only becomes the innermost and also outermost shell. So this number of electrons shows that it is in metallic nature, but it is not a metal. This is our exceptional case. As you know already, for every rule, one exception will be there. For every rule, one exception. So like that, here also we have an exception. Though it is having one electron in the ultimate shell, then also it is not having the metallic nature. Right? So it is a non-metal. We are saying that this is an exceptional case. It is having non-metallic nature. Then we'll see some other element also, atomic number 8. Atomic number 8. Now this is not having any exceptional case. Just normally we'll see what is that NLX method and also shell method will write the electronic configuration. NLX method, if you see, 2 electrons in the first shell, 6 electrons in the second shell. 2 electrons in the first shell means in first shell S subshell contains 2 electrons, second shell S subshell 2 electrons, and second shell P subshell 4 electrons. Altogether here we have 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8, 2 plus 6, 8. 8 electrons we got. Now here you see, last shell how many number of electrons are present. Last shell means many of the students will do a mistake. They will take only 2p4. 2p4. But here second shell, not the last subshell. It is the last shell. That is why we have to count these 2 subshells electrons. S subshell electrons and also P subshell electrons. We have to count 2 plus 4. Totally number of electrons are 6 in the valence shell. So 6 valence electrons are present here. So that is what we will do here. 6 electrons are there means it is a non-metal. It is a non-metal. It is an electronegative element. This is also electronegative element and this is also electronegative element. But here, as I said before, hydrogen is having both the natures. H plus ion is formed, H minus ion also is formed. Electronegativity means based on with what element it is combining, based on that it will have valency -1 or +1 also. Oxidation number may be +1 or -1. So hydrogen and oxygen both we got here, both are non-metals. Then what type of bond is formed? Here between these two elements, covalent bond will be formed. Covalent bond is formed. What is that covalent bond? Sharing the number of electron pairs between that. Contributing and also sharing. About that bonds and all we'll discuss in another video. Just here we are discussing only about the nature of the element. So hydrogen is a non-metal, exceptional case we got. Then oxygen is a non-metal here. So between these two non-metals, what type of bond is formed? Covalent bond is formed. Now you say, what is the valency of this hydrogen? Only one electron is there. Either it may lose an electron or it may gain one electron. By losing that electron, it becomes a proton. Because only one electron, one proton is there. One electron, one proton are there here in this hydrogen. When electron is lost, only one proton will be present in the nucleus. So that is why H plus is nothing but proton. H plus is nothing but proton. Same like that oxygen if you take. Here you are having totally 6 electrons. Any element wants to get octet configuration by losing the electrons or by gaining the electrons. Right. So it is going to lose 2, it is going to gain 2 electrons here. It is an electronegative element. So -2. 2 is the valency of this element. -2 means oxidation number. 2 means nothing but valency. 2 means nothing but valency. -2 is nothing but oxidation number. If you are writing with a sign plus or minus, that becomes oxidation number. If you don't write plus or minus, it becomes a valency. So 2 is a valency of oxygen. 1 is a valency of hydrogen. 1 is a valency of hydrogen. So as we have discussed already, less than 4, valence electrons are less than 4, valency is equal to valence electrons. If it is greater than or equal to 4, valency is equal to 8 minus valence electrons. So 8 minus 6, 2 valency here, 1 is there, that means less than 4, valency is equal to valence electrons, so valency becomes 1 for hydrogen, right? So some other examples also let us see here. Now here we have some element like atomic number 8 only we'll take 18. Atomic number 18 we will take, and we'll try to observe what is the nature of the element, right? And also what is the valency, right? So here in this element, if you observe shell method, if you write 2, 8, 8, 2, 8, 8 means 2 plus 8, 10 plus 8, 18 electrons are present. So in this NLX method, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 6, 10, plus 2, 12, plus 6, 18 electrons we have written, right? So these 18 electrons are present in this element, okay. What is the nature of this element? Whether it is a metal or non-metal, because valence electrons are greater than 4. How we can count? Last shell is nothing but third shell. In that third shell, how many number of electrons are present? 2 plus 6, 8 electrons, greater than 4. So what we can say? It is a non-metal. It is a non-metal. It is not having metallic nature, right? That means nothing but non-metal. So in this non-metal, what is a valency? Valency means as valence electrons are greater than 4, what we can say, valency is equal to 8 minus valence electrons. What is the number of valence electrons? 8. So what is the valency here? Valency is equal to 8 minus 8, that is nothing but 0. Means it neither loses the electrons nor gains the electrons. Why? Because already it has octet configuration. Any element with 8 electrons in the last shell will get stability. So already it has, so it does not have any need to lose the electrons or gain the electrons. So that is why valency is equal to 0. That means it does not form any bonds with any element. What is this element here? 18 means nothing but argon, right? So this element is an inert gas, noble gas, which does not participate in any chemical bond, right? So like this, based on the atomic number, we can say easily what is the nature of the element, and if two elements atomic numbers are given, between that what type of the bond is formed, that also we are able to say very, very easily, right? And if you like the video, please like, share and comment, and subscribe my channel Science at Your Tips. Thank you.